Hello, everybody. It is Cherie here. Welcome to the 10K Project. We are a community of Black investors who are funding Black businesses for as little as $100. Want to say hello to everybody today. So we are officially in three Facebook groups, should be live in three Facebook groups. Our Facebook page, Periscope, YouTube, and if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm on Instagram as well. So your girl is getting better with her technology these days. For the past 10 years, I've been a business plan writer helping companies raise capital for as little, raise capital in their businesses. And I had a lot of businesses who would come to me, various industries, various ethnicities, and they would say, "Hey, Cherie, I want to raise capital for my business." And I'd say, "Okay." One of the first questions I'd ask, "Hi, how you doing, Latoya?" One of the first questions I'd ask is, "Okay, great. If you want to raise money for your business, tell me, once we write this business plan and put it together, who are you going to request money from?" People from other ethnicities would usually say, "Oh, I've got grandma, I've got aunt, I've got a venture capitalist I've known for 12 years, etc." People from our community would usually not have those resources and those networks. So they hustled really hard, they tried their best, but they were still falling short. I also noticed that there was a lot of people who wanted to buy Black. And there are a lot of people now who want to buy Black. If we're buying Black, why aren't we investing Black too? And that is where the 10K Project comes in, because we are a group of Black people who know that the power of us closing the racial wealth gap, funding our own companies, of creating our own jobs, building us up, is through the ground up. So we've been talking for the past couple of weeks about Robert Smith and what he's doing with the 2% solution. If you're not familiar with that, he is going to big corporations and saying, "Hey, if you just give the Black community," and he does say Black and not just minority, he says, "if you give Black banks 2% of your net income, that's about $45 billion a year, we could start funding businesses from that pile of money by strengthening the Black banks." Right now, Black banks as a total have $5 billion. So if you put $45 billion a year in for the next decade, that is Robert Smith's solution. His solution is top down. Well, our solution is bottom up. We believe if we can get 10,000 people together, we put in $100 each, that's $1 million per company. We could start funding our own companies. And this is done through something called equity crowdfunding. So that's what we're building at the10kproject.com. That's the10kproject.com. So why am I here today? What are we talking about today? Today, our conversation, just really, really quick, is about a company called Zoox. We talked about them on Monday during our live, and the conversation was about the fact that Zoox is an autonomous driving company for like taxis, right? And we talked about the fact that it was started by a Black woman, and it was sold to Amazon for $1.2 billion last week. Why am I mentioning Zoox to us? A couple of different reasons. Number one, with the 10K Project, imagine if we had known about Zoox very early and we had gotten in on that. Where would we be as a community? How many of us would have taken the opportunity to invest in that type of business? So that's number one. Number two is I just learned that Zoox now has 900 employees, and that's my topic for today. 900 employees. Now, I don't know the racial makeup of people there. However, when we start talking about funding our own businesses and creating our own jobs, Zoox is a great example of how this can happen. There's another group that I want you to take a look at called Y Combinator. So the letter Y and Combinator. They've been around since 2005. They have funded over 2,000 businesses. Those businesses are worth over 100 billion with a B, $100 billion. And they employ more than 50,000 people. And a lot of these companies that they work with are in tech, in innovative spaces, etc. So why am I saying that? When I crunched the numbers, it took me forever to figure out what the real number is, but I believe that the unemployment rate in Black America is about 1.9 million, right? And that doesn't include underemployed people. Let's just take it as the unemployed rate. And there are over 2 million Black businesses in the United States. That means if each Black business was funded properly and they hired one person, Black unemployment, considering that skills would have to be matched, of course, Black unemployment would go away. Now, am I naive enough to say that Black unemployment can go away just because of the 10K project? No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that the 10K project can be a big factor along with Robert Smith's 2% solution. You got Netflix now putting in $100 million into Black banks and HBCUs. You have other corporations starting to put money in. This is going to help the Black unemployment rate and the Black underemployment rate tremendously. Also, think about how many of you are in corporate America. You don't necessarily want to be an entrepreneur, and I'm not a fan of everybody being an entrepreneur. I'll just say that right now. However, I will say that some of you need to be a part of what we call super teams. Now, super teams is not my invention. It was from a woman I know named Erica Williams, but she talks about people coming together in order to move the ball farther, faster. So going back to Zoox, that has the 900 employees started by a Black woman. You don't get there by yourself. You don't get to a $1.2 billion valuation by yourself. What does this have to do with the people who are underemployed in our community? There are some of you that have hit glass ceilings at certain jobs that you have. Imagine if you have a properly funded Black business that could bring you in and you're excellent at what you do. Imagine the amount of service that you can give to that business. You could potentially even get shares in that business, or you could get bonuses based on how you do within the business, etc. What I'm trying to say is the 10K project and our ability to really move the ball forward with decreasing Black unemployment and closing the wealth gap has so many layers to it that all I can do is encourage you to become part of our community. The10kproject.com. I'm about to head out now. I want you to take a closer look at Zoox, take a closer look at Y Combinator, and think about what the 10K project can do. We do have an ebook that you're able to download if you wish, and that will give you our plan. And it is all about Black America's plan to start funding our own businesses so that we can create our own jobs, we can profit from our own innovation, we can help close the racial wealth gap, and we can do big things within the community. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, I'm headed out. Thank you so much. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful July 4th weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.